What's up, everybody? It's your girl Aisha coming to you guys with another video. As usual, you have tuned into the rise. Thank you so much. First of all, I owe you guys an apology because I was supposed to give you guys the actual second part to my video haul from the things I had about my daughter for the summer, but things got crazy. I wasn't able to do it. Editing wise, it was just a hot mess. So with that being said, I want to apologize. Secondly, if I decide to give you guys the haul, it will be done just randomly. I will just give you guys, let you guys know, okay, this is what she woo, this is things like that. Because it will be pointless to do the haul, and summer is practically over. It is, what is it, September 12th? September 11th was yesterday. So, you know, just brought back a lot of memories of things that happened 12 years ago. So, you know, hope everyone is doing well, and I'm doing fine. So I'm going to talk to you guys today about the rashness going on in the city of Chicago. For those who do not know, I do live in the city of Chicago. I'm west side all day. Now, let's talk about it's a bunch of just foolishness. Some people got killed on the south side. Some Chicago artists, you know, was beef between them about some music and things like that. And we don't know who actually did it. It's just know that a 16-year-old boy was actually killed riding his bike. A car pulled up on the side of him while he was going down 69th and opened fire on him, and it's a lie. And then somebody was tweeting a lot of stuff saying it was sad because it was, in other words, they were laughing at him because they felt like he wanted to be like him, but it was really cold how they did it. So, you know, it's a lot of investigation going on concerning that matter with them. Excuse me for a second. So it's just too much. And, you know, they called Drew Peterson, things like that. It's just a lot of random stuff. But what I really want to talk to you guys about is the CPS strike. For those who not know what CPS stands for, it stands for Chicago Public Schools. Now, the thing that is bothering me is because the students are out of school. Mainly. That's the only thing that bothers me. But I understand why the teachers are on strike. Myself being a parent, I completely understand. Number two, and mainly is because I am also a product of CPS. I went to a public high school as well as a public elementary school. I didn't go to private school. You know, I wanted, you know, hey, I got the public education, but not saying that public education is bad. It's all in how you do things and what teachers you have. Because you can have bad teachers, period, no matter whether you go to private school or whatever. It's just a simple fact, or a suburban school. It's just a simple fact that education has to be taken seriously. Now, I'm behind the teachers when it comes to this strike 100% on so many levels. By me, like I said, being a product of CPS. But it takes away that the students are out of school. It's a lot going on. It has a lot to do with money. And it takes money to actually give a proper education. Real talk. We might be getting a public education, but it takes money because you need the books, you need the proper materials, you need the schools, and the facility that the school, you know, that where your school is at has to be intact. Proper food, everything. It's not all about, you know, people thinking, okay, you're giving these students all these tests, they giving them this, they giving them that. You know, no, it takes a lot when it comes to education. And I think I think the mayor failed to realize, Mayor Emanuel, that he doesn't understand that it takes a lot to deal with students. And it takes a lot to deal with people. I don't care what job you have. And a lot of times when you're dealing with students, whether you're dealing with adults, and if you're dealing with customer service, if you're dealing with people, it's customer service, period. Because you're giving them a service, whether it's a free service or whether they have to pay for it. It is like when you deal with people, that is the most underpaid job you can practically have, because you deal with so much. You take on a lot of responsibility. You know, you're in, let's say for instance, you work for a clothing store. You're serving that customer, and that customer can have the stankiest attitude ever. Same way with the schools. You deal with students with the most stankiest, funkiest, I don't give a damn kind of an attitude, basically. You know, now me, I'm not going to say I was perfect, but I kind of knew because I had a mother that took pride in my education, as well as if I did things wrong, I got disciplined about it. So whatever I did at home, I didn't take to school. Whereas now this generation, these kids don't care who they offend in any kind of way, form, or fashion. So it's a lot. And I'm not saying all kids, so don't get me wrong. Because there are children that do want to do right and want an education. But just because one nut decides he wants to be ignorant doesn't mean that everybody has to suffer. You know, because I was talking to someone, they was like, well, it's these kids. Everybody's not like what you think they are. It's just that because one person gets stupid, it makes it bad for everyone else. You know, the maturity level of a lot of these young people are very low because what their parents are. We have so many young parents. Like I had my daughter when I was 25 years old. I was not a teenage mom. I wasn't trying to be a teenage mama. And I'm not knocking anybody that is a teenage mom because things happen. But it's up to you as a parent to say, you know what I did, I can't allow happen to my child. And that's what needs to be taking place. You know, it has to be responsible. But this also is a true statement. When they say that it takes a village to raise a child, it really is a true statement. Because it takes a lot. It's so much. And they want these teachers to do more than what they can. Now, yes, the Bible says God does not put more on you than you can bear. But you also got to have common sense. You know that a teacher cannot be a counselor, cannot be this, can't be a guidance counselor, can't do all of that. They got to teach all of these children or students and let them try to grasp all of this information and then they want them to be a counselor at the same time. No, you need all of this because a real counselor, a person who is certified to actually counsel someone in the need of trouble, can see things that the teacher might not see. They might can see some things and say, you know what, you need to go see so-and-so. You need to go see Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so. Or we prefer you go see some professional help on this matter. You know, they want them. And I was watching the news this morning and they were saying they want us to be guidance counselors and teachers at the same time. And we're not even getting paid for that. It takes a lot to run a school as well as it takes a lot. And see, Ronnie Manuel is he's the mayor. He's not dealing with the school. And then on top of that, you're not suffering because guess what? Your children are at a private school. At a private school. So you don't suffer at all, whereas you got over more than 4. I can't even give you the number of students that are out of school. The ones who started in August are out because of this strike. They thought that this was going to be okay, it was going to blow over. This has been 25 years in the making before they decided they wanted to do a strike. They've been threatening to do it. Now they're standing their ground. People are tired of being abused. We take on the responsibility of being teachers. We want to be teachers. That's what they're saying. We want to be teachers. We want to be this. We want to be that. And we want to help. But we also want to be treated fairly. And that's with any job. You want to be treated fairly. Why am I doing more than what I'm getting paid for? You want to put 55 students in the classroom. That's not even possible to do. I did a workshop in Indiana. I was at ISU for an organization called College Summit. And I'm really talking about College Summit, but let me tell you something. We dealt with 58 students. Now, it was about 30 staff members, and we practically almost lost our minds. And it's not that the students were bad. It's just you have to cater, you have to watch and pay attention and be alert and making sure these students are okay. So just imagine if it's 30 staff members and 58 students. So we already almost numbered out by 20, basically. You got one person, one teacher, 55. How is that one person going to control 55 students? Their hormones, their attitudes, they don't care, they don't do this, they don't do that. People thinking that the teachers are on strike because the students are acting crazy. No, that's not all of the case. The students are in a classroom where it's too hot, it can be too cold, There are no books. There's not enough room. See, she said I was in there in a classroom with 42 students, and it was extremely hot. Too many people, too many bodies, too many body odors, too many all of this, and there's no room. Number thing that's bothering me. If there's no heat, how in the world is the school going to stay warm during the wintertime? If there's no air conditioning, how is the school going to stay cool during the summertime? You have people that have so many health problems that they have to be in the right position where they are comfortable. You're going to be sending some of these kids that have heart problems and all kinds of diseases or whatever they got going on permanently with their bodies to the hospital because you're too lazy to do what you need to do as far as the classrooms go. 42 students, they can't break this up. They can't do it. They can't give them everything that they need. They don't have enough books. I went without a book in classes. I had teachers that actually had to print out what we needed to know because we didn't have the proper books. That's crazy. Or they just say, you know what, we're not even going to use the books. You know, like, because there's not enough books to go around. That's selfish. Everybody else, you know, all these fancy schools got everything that they need, and why can't the public schools have it? But I'm also I digress on this situation too, because just finding out there's some suburban schools I think are going on strike. So trust me, this is not just a public situation. This is a worldwide or a state situation, and you never know what's going on in the next state next to you when it comes to the education system, because politics is crooked. Real talk, it's real crooked. Ron Manuel went in there talking that he gonna do this, he gonna do that, and you mean to tell me you cannot give these teachers and the students what they need so that they can get the quality education that they deserve? Just because it's public education does not mean that it has to be run down education. They have the opportunity to learn just like anybody else. They took away so many art programs and college programs that is needed. They took away this organization I was just speaking on earlier, College Summit. They took that away from us in Chicago. So many young people need this organization because it boosts up so many people that went through the program, that went to Chicago public schools, to encourage them to go to college. Whether they went to a public, whether they went to a community college, or whether they went to a 4-year. They were encouraged to go to a 2-year. Then let's go finish your 4-year. Some of myself included, us, they going to grad schools. They do. I mean, just so much this organization had offered, and the CPS decided to take it away and somehow we don't know. You need them. It was so much that went on in the summertime, and I'm not saying things won't happen. But my whole thing is, I think a lot of this could have died down as far as like when you had a lot of killings and things like that going on during the summertime. If these students had somewhere to go during the summer, they spent 4 days on the college campus. Learn about the school, learn about everything, learn about financial aid. So much stuff that they can learn with this organization, and had all these public schools went through it. Now, I am proud to say that some Chicago students did get opportunity to participate. I am proud to say that. But we need them all. Not just some. We need them all. It just needs to be some changes in CPS. We all need to stand together. This city is just a hot mess, and it's just everything is going wrong. Whether it's killings, whether it's your education, whether it's your job, this city is a mess. You know, people put so much effort into doing things that's not necessary instead of the things that are important. Education is important, and these students need it. It's not fair that they have to suffer because our mayor, Mayor Emanuel, and the CEO, I can't pronounce that man's name. Somebody put it down at the bottom of the comments. Let me know what the man is if you're from Chicago. Is sitting around talking about some well, we're going to put this money into this. And then I think, you know, for this, you know, so the students can have somewhere to go, when you can put that same money into the schools. So you got money to put in something else, but instead of putting that money into the schools, that's just a waste of money and time. Secondly, thing that's tripping me out is just that it's just too much going on. It's like nobody cares. They talk about, oh, the children are our future. You killing off our future because these students don't have nowhere to go. They don't know where to look at. They already talking. They bored. They want to get into something. Now they gonna get into some trouble. I'm just like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. This is not happening. I stand by the strike because we need it. You know, and I guess they must have thought that they wasn't going to do it. They can do whatever they want. No, you cannot do whatever you want. You and the union is going to protect them. You ain't got no choice. And I think Emmanuel, he said he's going to take some legal action. I guess they think about hiring new teachers or something. If they already looking at the strike and what's going on, and you got practically every teacher, by law, technically, when you're in the union, whether or not you sitting at home or whether, everybody's on strike. And you're going to try to hire somebody else to come teach these students. They're not going to take on the responsibility once they hear the complaints that these teachers got. Get this foolishness together. Give the schools what they need. Give them the money. Help them fix these schools up. Stop having these rundown looking schools, raggedy stuff. Get them the proper uniforms. Give them the proper activities, whether it's the sports. Give them what the school needs. Stop playing with people and give them what they need, and stop thinking that what you doing is okay. Better yet, it's not. Our babies are suffering, babies are dying, things just happening around the world, and the last thing you want to do is try to take away somebody's education because you don't want to give them the proper, education just because it's public, because you feel, oh, they don't need this, they don't need that. It could have been avoidable. Ain't nobody playing. What, they going to suffer another year where these students ain't got what they need? That's not fair. That's not fair. So my message is to Mayor Emanuel and to the CEO, if you watching this and you on YouTube or whatever, you get this foolishness together. Get it together and get it together now. Like I said, I am a product of CPS, and I know what it felt like. Because there's so many times where I came to my school and told them, oh, we should do this. And the school's telling me they ain't got the money to do it. We don't know what's going to happen. Mayor Daley did some damage here and there, then he did some good things. But don't make this out to be all about you. Make it to be about the students. And I encourage that the parents get involved in their students' lives, get involved in their education, stand in the gap for these young people, and let's do this right. Stop all of this ratchetness, this confusion, all of this mess. Don't think that the school is a babysitting job, because it is not. It is an institution for your children to learn, not for you to just go, oh, okay, my child going to be in school for 7 hours and I can sleep all day, or I can do whatever I want to do for the next 7 hours. I can lay up with somebody. No, that's not the case. Get involved. You see all these parents out here with these teachers striking. If you ain't out there, get out there. Support. Give what you can. If it's any organizations that can give and support the schools, do what you got to do, because this has to come to an end one way or the other. It is not fair that these young people are out of school and they are suffering. It is not fair that these teachers have to suffer with all of this and there's no support to back them up. No. Don't give us, oh, you offered to be a teacher. No, this is what they wanted to do. But at the same time, they need to have the support of the school, of the city of Chicago. Let's stand together in the gap. Let's stand together for our city of Chicago. Stop all of this foolishness. Let's get together and let's do this right. And I mean, that's all I really have to say concerning the matter. But I hope that you all get my message and understand that this should not be going on. So hopefully, you guys got to understand what's going on. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. If anything going on in your city that you feel like is not going right, put it down and then step on it. Don't be afraid to say something about it. If it's going on, do something about it. Step in, because we have to work with, I was going to end this, but I have to say this much. We got to work with Barack Obama. We cannot do everything by himself. We have to stand together as a whole, as a country. Every city, every state has to stand together and do this right. If we want to get out of the predicament that we're in, we have to stand together and stop blaming him, because he is only one person. All these people in this world, you cannot get together and do this right. Something is wrong with you. So once again, I encourage you guys to really stand together and work. If you are from the city of Chicago, and if you feel that you see things are not right, stand in the gap, pray, do what you got to do, and remember that, that our children are our future, and we cannot continue to kill them off, whether it's to put them on the back burner or whether or not they end up getting hurt by someone. So once again, I'll talk to you guys later. I do have some other videos that will be coming up very soon, but I wanted to share this with you guys. So, on that note, make sure you guys take care of yourselves. God bless, and remember that God has not put more on you than you can bear. So, see you later. Bye.